I'd like to introduce to you two wonderful people. We've actually had one on the show last year. Kelly Vale is her name. She's the event chair of She's All That, the conference put on by the Seroptimus of San Ramon. And with her is Sana Sarashwala. How'd I do?
All right, that was good.
Who is a past participant in the She's All That conference and now volunteering. And I'd like to welcome both of you here. We're going to talk about She's All That today.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, so just to get our viewers up to speed, She's All That is a conference just for middle schoolers. Once you came out of middle school, you became a volunteer,
right.
But you were a participant in this, and the idea is to empower girls at a very crucial time in their lives. Am I right so far?
Yes.
All right. Kelly, tell us why middle school? I mean, this wasn't saved to high school. Why?
The Seroptimus Club really kind of got together and said, we want to do something that impacts our community that hasn't been reached, but we're really looking to reach women and girls. And we said, the most influential time would be middle school. They've got a little bit more freedom, more responsibility, and they're really starting to explore themselves. And people are asking, who are you? Who do you want to be? And they're defining their own boundaries and really exploring themselves. So we created this conference to give them some choices to try a few classes, see what they like, what they don't like, and really kind of explore themselves, empower them to become all that.
Now, give us an idea of some of the classes that participants could look forward to enjoying this year.
Okay. We keep expanding our selection, but we have a core set of classes which are very well received every year, which would be yoga, Mean Girls, straight scoop on boys. We've actually added an advanced straight scoop and beginners. Dance, Money and Me, which is exploring your finances and your budget. Facial finishes, which is talking about skin, your skincare, what looks appropriate, because that age group is definitely looking into makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Self-defense is also a very popular one that we've done year over year. We've actually added another one where it's from On My Own to One of Us, which is a transition period class. So that's kind of a variety, but then we also have a variety of courses for the parents as well.
Well, because this can be, and you can speak to this, that, I mean, this is a time in a young woman's life that is, it's hard to navigate through what's going on. You know, you're sort of pulling away a little bit from family by the time you're in middle school, and so your friends have become really your core, and you're dealing with all of this. I just remember this so well. There was just so much stuff that by the time you get to college, oh, you're just a master at it. But, you know, when you are in middle school and this is just all coming at you, it's frightening. Right. So tell us then, Sana, what did you find to be, as a participant, the most impacting for you program?
Right, as a middle schooler, I was facing a lot of problems with friends, family, just a lot of things came at me, and I really thought I was the only one. And I went to She's All That conference, and I attended Mean Girls, which is pretty much a 60-minute seminar saying how to deal with like bullies and girls pretty much back talking. Yeah. And I really felt that I wasn't the only one. There were so many other girls. By the show of hands, they would say how many people have been targeted by such and such scenarios, and it was really shocking to see how many people were just like me. And I felt after that that I can go to so many other seminars and see what other types of people are there, and I'm not the only one, and in my school. And so in this conference, there are people from all different schools. So you get a little bit of aspects of different types of people. So I thought it was really great.
The one with the Mean Girls, and I think that's just so important. Do the Mean Girls show up to these conferences and recognize what they are doing, or is it just kind of the ones that are on the receiving end of their nastiness?
And actually shadowing the classes, I go in and see the classes, and usually by the end of Mean Girls, every single girl has identified at some point they were the mean girl.
They were.
So they might not have been the good friend that they thought they were. They were also targeted, but it really kind of brings awareness, and they look at each other and go, wow, I can be the mean girl too. Not only do I feel it, but you don't even see that you're doing it yourself.
Right. Well, now, Sana, as a participant, I mean, as a volunteer now, tell me the difference then. I mean, you were just probably just in wonder at the beginning, and now you know what's going on there because you're helping kind of run the thing. Tell us the difference for you.
I went actually back to Mean Girls after as a volunteer, and I saw that so many girls were in the same boat as I was, and they actually asked for my opinion as well. So I was able to share what I went through in middle school, and it was really great because I thought I could really help these girls because they were going through the exact same thing I had been going through. And you really identify like who you are, what types of activities you've done, how many, how you've been treating other people through the past, and as of reflecting back what I've been doing, 3 years, 4 years before, it's really good to know that I wasn't the only one, and there's other people out there.
Isn't that just it's the comfort of knowing that, isn't it? That
Right.
sometimes all that you really need is just, but now you get tools though as well though, right? It's not just the knowledge that other people are going through the same
Right.
thing, but you're giving them, here's how to deal with it, right?
A lot of the conference is about developing relationships, improving your communication skills, becoming more aware of your own behavior, whether it's interacting with mean girls, how to deal with stress, how to communicate better with your parents. There's a class called Get My Parents Off My Back and On My Side, and how to cultivate those relationships, but also interact better and understand yourself. So instead of just reactive, be more proactive. And each one of the classes has a bit in there about communicating and really connecting better with, the audience.
Now this is the 6th annual She's All That,
It is.
right? What kind of evolutions have occurred since the first one to where you say, boy, we are really getting this now? What would you say, Kelly?
When we first started the conference, they did a focus group with middle school girls and said, what is it that you want? Last year we did the same thing. We did a focus group and said, hey, it's been 5 years. How's it going? What do you want? What can we do different? We've got excellent feedback. And honestly, it's the parents who are like, we want more too.
That's right. So the parents have classes here. That's right. We have to put that out there. That's
The
right.
parents actually, they went from having 3 classes to this year they have a choice of 7, and they are 90-minute sessions.
Okay.
But for the girls, we've added classes. We've now up to 20 choices because the girls said, hey, I've been here 2 years. I don't want to go to the same class that I did last year. So we've added some choices, mixed up the variety. We've also added beginner and advanced, particularly with boys.
Yeah.
What the 6th and 7th grade.
Meaning the girls liking the boys, right? Now the
Straight
boys
scoop
are not
on-
invited to this, right?
Just the girls. But it's actually taught by a high school boy. Actually, he
Good.
might be in his 1920 about this point. But
Who better?
what a 6th and 7th grade girl is experiencing from a dating, exploring boys is different from 8th grade. So the feedback from the focus group said, can you address it? Because what an 8th grader is feeling is, by that time, is different.
Well, I noticed that just in middle school. It hasn't been that long. I mean, I can still remember it. And it was the 6th grade girls were just really young. They were just young. And by the time the 8th grade, they were women. And I mean, so even though they're sharing a lot of the same difficulties and challenges, they're coming at it from a much more seasoned by the time you're in 8th grade. So this is good. This is having the sort of the beginners and the advanced, same program, but on an accelerated for those who have already experienced a lot of this
And
stuff.
actually, last year at the end, when we were interviewing some of the girls, they said, can you do a high school version? And then this year, we actually had a parent call in and say, can my 5th grade daughter come? So there's definitely a response from the community, which is wonderful. We don't really have the bandwidth to do a high school version, but it's really great to know that the topics that we're covering is very well received.
Now, one of the topics that you do is dancing, and I think this is great because how many young girls are, 6th grade is when the dances start, and you just kind of wonder how you're doing out there. What did you learn from the dancing part of it?
I actually never attended the dancing one, but I did go back during the high school ones and seen. It is very awkward for 6th graders who's never been to a dance before. I've volunteered at a dance, and it's just the 6th graders standing there. So when you are with all girls who are facing the same thing, it's a lot less awkward. It's like a stepping stone before going to an actual dance. It helps you as like an individual, not having that barrier and the awkwardness, and just being yourself when you dance.
That's how it should be. Dancing should be an expression,
Right.
but I think when you're so uptight and worried about how you're looking, you're missing the whole fun of it.
Yeah,
So.
some of the feedback from the dance class is that it's freeing, that you can put aside the stress and just become comfortable with your body and just relax a little bit and let loose. And dancing is really, that self-expression when you're, but it's gaining that comfort level with yourself.
But at middle school dances, there's a whole different approach towards it because there's there's boys there, there's different types of feeling atmosphere. It's not the same as just being with girls, in a room that's set up for dancing. So it's a lot better just being with your friends and being with the environment where there's all girls and it's your first time, and it's a lot better than being pushed out.
Right, exactly.
true.
So it's like having a little preview first of how it's going to be.
Get the warm-up.
Yeah, a little warm-up to that first one. Now, yoga, you said, is one of the most popular.
Right.
So what's with that? Just that, because yoga is so much more than exercising. I think people forget that. It really has a whole mind, body, soul thing going on here. Are they getting that? Is that what the girls are getting?
I think so. I've heard that it's stress relief.
Yes.
You know, we see it as adults that we have stress, but honestly, the girls are communicating that they have stress, they don't know what to do with it, and they're really not taught how do you manage stress. It's not even a topic in 6th or 7th grade, but they're finding that yoga is that release, and it is a way to, wow, I feel the stress in my body, what do I do with it? And yoga is an outlet for them. And some have said they've connected yoga with their parents because their parents are doing it. And they now have something in common, which is pretty unusual at middle school.
Yeah. So. And I guess yoga becomes a lifestyle because once you start at an early age, you can carry it through your whole life.
Yeah, that's true.
Really, especially if you start at an early age like middle school, it can really help you.
It's perfect. And it really is. It is something that you just, any level, you can be enjoying yoga. You can go to a yoga class and you are in it immediately.
Right.
It's not something that you have to work your way up to and how are you going to do this. But another good reason to have this at the She's All That conference, because you don't know until you go into a class, what's going to happen? Am I going to be unable to do this and singled out and embarrassed and all of those things? So here, another opportunity to say, try it out.
Right.
Well, and this conference it's you know, this is all beginners. Nobody is, you know, the master of any of these classes, so it's a really kind of safe environment to go, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
So before you get to high school or, you know, out of school and you're like, I don't know, I've never done that before, I can't do it. Well, middle school, try it all.
Yeah.
It's all a new experience, and keeping that conference, that kind of energy, it's a lot of fun.
And since you're not with your friends and you're not in that environment of the school environment where people are watching you, you're with the person sitting next to you could be from another school. So it's not that awkward, I don't know who's sitting next to me, or I do know who's sitting next to me, what will they judge? So it's more of an environment where everyone comes together rather than singled out like in middle school.
That's true.
That's good. Now, Sana, what would you say, you don't have to give me the top one, but what seems to be the prevalent concern of these middle school girls that you just were one yourself and now you're, you know, volunteering with them? What's their number one concern?
I think it's body image. I really
Is
think
it
there's
still?
a lot of
I think we were getting over this.
Right. I think just there's so much concerns on like what should I wear, what will people think about me, and the funny thing is I don't think there's no actual communication between people to say, oh, this is why I don't want to dress this way or I do dress this way. It's more like I dress this way, but nobody else will find out, and I won't tell anyone that I have, you know, those anorexic problems. They don't tell people and they don't tell their friends. So there's this hidden communication that they feel like they're being judged, or they feel like there's some kind of message coming across saying that they should or act a certain way. But I feel like that's just all, there's no actual communication in that way.
You know, I just remember the teen magazines growing up and just feeling so inadequate because you felt like you were supposed to look a certain way, and I just was so hoping we were getting past that, still in there.
Right.
But in that age range, your body is changing so rapidly that
You don't even know
what
what to
worked last week might not work this week, because
Right.
guess what? It was a really busy week and your body's different. And so you're constantly, you're fighting, you know, the pressure and the stereotypes and the media, but you're also fighting your own body because, you know, if you're really athletic or you're just growing, so you have a lot to deal with. We do have a class about dressing your body and, you know, how to be appropriate for certain situations. So,
well, let's give out this information. It's the 6th annual She's All That. It's for middle school girls and their parents. There's some great stuff in there for the parents as well. This is on Saturday, February 6th. This year, 2010, Cal High School in San Ramon. It goes from 9 to 3. You do want to register a little bit early. Let me give you the website. You can go right to www.Soroptimist-SR for San Ramon.org. Do spell Soroptimist correctly. I find if you don't, you do not get to the website properly. The number there, 925-355-2442. Kelly and Sana, thank you so much for being with us today, and good luck. Have another fabulous one. This is what middle school girls need.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. And we've got plenty more coming up. Don't go away. I'll be right back.